Coming up today on Studio 13 Live. Barbie, Blue Beetle, Indiana Jones, Mission Impossible. Which movie scored the #1 spot at the box office this weekend?
Plus, we're getting a special jazz performance in studio from Dylan Hayes Trio. How the community rallied together to save KNKX public radio station and its upgraded home in Seattle.
Then we're giving you a look at the Thai cooking classes at PCC Community Markets. Learn how to make Tom Yum Senlek noodle soup at home.
And we're trying some sweet and savory treats with Temple Pastries. It's grow up from the pop-up it was to the brick-and-mortar shop it now is in the Central District. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
Hello, welcome to another wonderful week. I'm Carly Henderson.
And I'm Mireya Garcia. We are so happy to have you here with us. You know, this is kind of a big deal. After a month of Barbie mania at the box office, there's finally a new #1.
That's right. DC Studios' Blue Beetle has taken the #1 spot, raking in just over $25 million at the domestic box office. So the movie finds a college grad, Jaime Reyes, taken over by an alien beetle, which turns him into the Blue Beetle. Reviews say that the movie doesn't take itself too seriously for a superhero film. And we actually spoke with Blue Beetle actor Xolo Maridueña when he was in Seattle for All-Star Week about what it was like being the first Latino superhero for DC.
The reaction was probably not as exciting as what you're thinking. It's probably just full of tears and joy. When it comes down to, you know, the first Latino superhero for DC, I'm so excited, so honored, so blessed to kind of be here, and really, it's due in part to like our writer and director, and the story really transcends ethnicity. It's going to be super fun.
Oh, I love to see that. That is so exciting to get to have had a conversation with him right before the movie came out too.
That's my favorite point to talk with actors, artists, you know, music artists, all of that, because they're waiting for it to happen and they know that it's in the works, but the world hasn't quite caught up yet. So, he was so excited to be in Seattle too. You know, he was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know about this fish throwing thing at Pike Place Market. So he ran over and did that like as soon as our interview was over. He was ready to go eat seafood. He went up to the Space Needle. So he really embraced Seattle too, which was really cool to see.
Well, we know Seattle is cool, so I guess you got to experience that as well. And you know, from one end of the spectrum to the other, Mission Impossible 7: Dead Reckoning and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, they're not doing as well as planned. Both are estimated to lose about $100 million. Oof. Yeah, entertainment insiders say that while both films really attracted high ticket sales, they were simply too expensive to make and to promote. There have even been, you know, a lot of big movies out this summer that we've been talking about. So people really have a lot of choices right now, but it sounds like Hollywood may well have a spending problem.
No kidding. Yeah, you said it. Also, I mean, I think the common denominator here is that these are sequels. This is Mission Impossible 7. Which, not to hate on the movie, I'm sure it's a great movie, but like we kind of know what's going to happen at this point, right?
Exactly.
You know, I think people will get around eventually to seeing them. There's just, at least for myself and my movie consumption habits, there's not as much of an immediacy for some of these films.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Taylor Swift, she was in Long Beach Island over the weekend for longtime collaborator Jack Antonoff and actress Margaret Qualley's wedding. So she showed up with Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz, but once word got out that she was there, people actually started swarming the area. So hundreds of people, they stood outside the rehearsal dinner chanting Taylor, Taylor. And this has sparked a lot of debate online. A lot of people saying it's par for the course with how big of a celebrity she is. Other people saying that she should still be able to go somewhere without being bombarded. This is such a bummer.
It really is. And my thing is, like, yes, that debate is legitimate, but my thing is, this was somebody else's wedding celebration.
Right.
Okay. So, like, imagine being this bride and groom on what is supposed to be one of the most magical days of your life, and there's like a lot of people outside screaming somebody else's name. And this sweet person can't actually do anything about that. It's just in poor taste to me.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure Taylor feels horrible about this too. You know, she's sung about it before too. You know, in Antihero she sings "Too Big to Hang Out," and so it's really it seems like so isolating for her too, because she tries to go and support a friend, and if there's ever a day for it to not be about you, it's somebody else's wedding weekend, someone else's festivities there. So I imagine she just feels awful about it. She doesn't want to like be mad at her fans, but I mean, there's definitely a line here, and we don't want to be ruining other people's festivities going on here.
Yeah, and I think she really did speak with her actions, because the next day she like went around the back, and that probably, if there was any funny point to me, it was Zoe Kravitz's face right behind Taylor. She was just like, ugh, you know, like side eye to everybody.
Yeah.
So a tough situation there. And you know, it turns out that some fans may want to vibe with Beyonce's Renaissance tour so badly that they're buying listen-only tickets, okay? So Ticketmaster selling no-view concert seats. You cannot see the stage, but you would be in the building. And one person says she actually paid $50 for those listening seats in Maryland, and then another person even paid almost $250. I wonder if that's with or without the fees, but $250 for a pair, no view seats out of Atlanta. Some Swifties, though, they've known to do what's called tailor-gating, so they just kind of hang out outside of the stadiums, which you're not really supposed to do, but they go hang out in the parking lots and then just listen to the singer. So it seems to me that Ticketmaster has caught on and is sort of trying to make a buck out of this whole option.
For sure. I wouldn't pay much for this, but if there was a sold out concert that I couldn't get to, I might pay, like, I feel like $50 would be the max. Like, just knowing you couldn't see anything in that situation. But there is sort of an element of fun to just being in the stadium. We were both at Eras Tour, you know, so, and to be honest, once you get up to a certain height in the stadium, you're not seeing that much anyway. You're watching the screens for a lot of it. But to know you're not going to see the artist at all, I don't know. I wouldn't want to pay a lot of money for that. I'm more into the tailgating. Hopefully security and these venues will continue to let fans do that, because that's kind of fun.
It is. I do wonder, though, is there a clear view of the screens at the very least, right?
They've got to.
But I do remember at one point during, you know, Taylor Swift here in Seattle, I noticed that one of the screens, the screen that would have been for the partial view seats, was not working.
Oh,
it was for a brief moment, and I was just feeling so bad for these people. But they got that sorted right away, so it ended up not being an issue. But you know, you run that risk as well.
I wish that we could just have multiple nights for like more than we already have for these huge can't miss concerts. You know. Okay, music news. I am so excited about next. Sounds like there could be an NSYNC reunion coming soon. So the new Trills movie trailer is out, and there are some important hints to pay attention to. So Justin Timberlake, you know, he's in the movie, and Entertainment Tonight says that NSYNC is expected to have surprise roles in this film. So a source told ET that NSYNC will release a new song for the movie. This is going to be their first song together since 2001's Girlfriend. Music to my ears.
So it wasn't Bye Bye Bye.
Yeah. Nice.
And I want to say NSYNC was both of our first concerts separately, but yeah, I'm excited to kind of reminisce a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I mean, the soundtrack for the Troll movies, like the songs Justin Timberlake's done in the past, have been so good. I love that all the guys are getting together, because the other four members, aside from Justin, have done some different performances together and things like that, you know, in the last few years. But to get all five back together, that's just magical.
Yeah, it'll be really fun.
Yes.
All right, well, Ariana Grande is celebrating the 10th anniversary already of her first album, Yours Truly, with a new deluxe edition. She made that announcement on social media, adding that it'll have newly recorded live performances of Honeymoon Avenue and Daydreamin'. And Ariana also says that the deluxe digital will feature live from London and updated versions of songs from Yours Truly. The new versions will be out just in about 4 days on August 25th. And actually, she hasn't released any new music since 2020. So an interesting choice to kind of do a look back instead.
I know. Part of me wonders if she's looking at the hype and the, you know, the money that's coming in from like the Taylor's version re-releases that she's doing, or re-recordings, I should say. I think a lot of fans are going to buy this because they just want to own a piece of their favorite celebrity no matter what. I stream my music, so I'll be streaming it. I won't be like purchasing anything for this. But Ariana's music has changed so much since this album too. Even just album to album, I feel like she's one of those artists that truly does evolve so much.
It really, yeah, I think it has changed quite a bit. And I also feel like partially this is also an attempt at changing the conversation right now, because Ariana is going through some personal drama that we've talked about here on the show. So I think she's really just kind of trying to like move forward with focusing on her career.
Yeah, definitely. All right, coming up on Studio 13 Live, Temple Pastries, they're giving us a taste of their sweet and savory breads. We're going to take a look at how their pop-up became a brick and mortar here in Seattle.
Up next, we are checking in with TMZ to learn the latest on Britney Spears' divorce, what she posted on social media over the weekend.
Don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
It is time to take a look at what is popping in celebrity news.
And for that, we're bringing in Jim Eckhart from TMZ. Hi, Jim.
Good morning, ladies. How are we doing today?
Good. Thank you for joining us to talk about all things Britney. So, Britney Spears, Sam Asghari, they've totally shut down any and all communication with each other. What is the latest in their divorce?
Yeah, so here's what we know. As we reported on the website over the weekend, that the two are no longer communicating at all. Any kind of talks back and forth are purely through their legal teams. We know that when Sam left the house last week, that was the last time that they talked. And we believe they may never communicate again directly with each other.
Wow. I mean, they don't share children, so it's not like they have to coordinate that. But can you imagine? Never speaking again. Wow.
Yeah, and I think they spent a lot of time together, especially when, you know, she was still under somebody else's control.
Yeah.
And now just not around anymore. Okay, so Britney, though, seems to be working fast at trying to put Sam behind her, posting on social media some interesting videos. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, as you say, single and ready to mingle. Well, according to her Instagram page, that is what she's ready to do. On Sunday, she posted an interesting topless video from her bed, kind of bearing it all for people to see. And that was followed up by her having a rowdy night last night, a divorce party, as we are calling it. She was hoisted up by 5 shirtless men. Her leg was licked by one of the men from boot to hip. It was quite the Instagram post.
Yeah, when I saw, I was, you know, just scrolling through my social media and came across that last video you're talking about. I'm thinking, who are these guys? What do we know about these guys she's hanging out with?
Unfortunately, I do not know who the shirtless, ripped men are at this time.
They're not your friends.
No, and I wasn't there, unfortunately. It was a work night for me, so.
Interesting. Okay, so but something that we definitely want to make clear is that at this point, Britney Spears is an adult woman who is capable, both legally and, you know, emotionally, of making these choices if she wants to make them. So I know that her fans must be worried about her, but definitely an important thing to talk about there, Sam. Or Jim, sorry.
You're all good. No, you are totally correct. She is, as you said, on her own, no more under a conservatorship. It appears that her and Sam aren't communicating, so it's not like Sam's telling her what to and what not to post. So right now it's all up to her, and if she feels like posting what she wants to do in terms of the videos we saw over the weekend, then all you, Britney.
Yeah. Do we think that, you know, someone like Britney Spears would have any of these guys that are, you know, seemingly new friends to us anyway, sign NDAs? Just to protect herself?
You know, potentially. I think we all know how Hollywood works in that realm. So they may not be saying much about the night last night.
Yeah, I kind of hope that they don't, to be honest. Okay, Jim Eckhart, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Have a wonderful day.
You too. All right, and don't forget, you can catch TMZ right here on Fox 13 weekdays at 7 p.m.
Ooh, that Britney talk. Oh my goodness. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And we're going to keep talking about it, I'm sure. And still ahead on Studio 13 Live, we are doing another round of cuckoo reviews, including what reviewers are calling the best online leggings and the worst pair of shoes.
Tell me more, tell me more. But first, we're going to be trying some of these sweet and savory treats with Temple Pastries. We're going to take a look at how they're expanding their menu next.
Today, it's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
It is time for Emerald Eats, where we highlight some amazing food in our area. And what is Monday without a little bit of pastries?
You're right. And today we are trying some of the sweet and savory baked goods with Temple Pastries in Seattle's Central District. So for that, we are bringing in the owner and head chef, Christina Wood. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here with us. So I hear you started as a pop-up. Tell us kind of about, it's grown and your whole journey going from pop-up to brick and mortar.
Yeah, so I started as a pop-up in 2018. I would set up shop at different coffee shops, and they would graciously host me, kind of how I got my name out there. And then the owner of Broadcast Coffee, Barry,
Oh, yeah.
on the show. He was like, hey, do you want to just partner with us? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then we opened our brick and mortar in 2020.
Oh, that's amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is such an accomplishment. And in fact, you have some seasonal options on the menu as well. So, if people walk into Temple Pastries today, what are they going to find?
So our weekday menu stays pretty much the same all year round. And then on the weekends, we do extra stuff that's seasonal and more kind of like out there flavors. So right now we have a pulled pork donut that's filled with
Oh, that is different.
yes, and we have like a honeycomb cronut. We like to push the limits on what you can put in pastry.
Is there a honeycomb on top of the cronut?
It's a honeycomb candy, crushed up and on the top.
Oh.
Yeah. I love that. Well, are we able to try some of the tasty things you brought today?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, what do we have?
Right up here up front, we have our chocolate rye croissant. So it's made with rye dough and cocoa powder.
Ooh, that's this one right here?
That one right there.
Nice.
A little tear?
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, we're getting flakes all over the studio.
Flakiness.
Very messy.
I love that.
And then we also have a Queen Amman, which we're really known for. And then we have our savory pastries over here. A shallot and Gruyere is kind of our standout.
Ooh.
Is that one?
Yes,
That's
it has caramelized shallot jam and Gruyere cheese on the inside.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, that is so good.
And not for nothing, but I feel like it really elevates breakfast. It makes it feel very fancy.
Yes. I
else
love
do we
things
have?
to be fancy.
Yes.
So I also like to really focus on different grains. So here I have brought a buckwheat palmier and a buckwheat chocolate shortbread cookie. They're not gluten-free, but I just love the taste of buckwheat. It's so earthy and delicious.
Yeah.
So these are my absolute favorites. They make a Mexican version too, but it's basically the same thing. And I'm excited to try this one. Let's see. It is earthier, but I love that.
Yeah, it really plays with the sweetness.
Wow.
What's your favorite?
Oh gosh, I probably eat a chocolate buckwheat cookie every day at the end of the day. Yeah.
We've done stories on how many cookies people eat in a year.
Yeah, it's like 200 in a year or something like that.
You may be a little more.
Definitely.
Oh, I love that. This is so delicious. I will be devouring some of these as soon as we're in the commercial break. But you are expanding also to bread, ice cream, even pizza. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, so we're actually taking over the space next to us and making our kitchen even bigger than it already is. We're starting to do sourdough bread loaves probably next week, and I'm very excited for that, something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And then we're going to have a walk-up window that does soft serve ice cream that's opening at the end of October. And then a pizza restaurant concept that's happening maybe beginning of next year.
Okay.
Nice.
And is it all
Buckwheat.
going to be under the same name?
Yep.
Oh, very cool. This girl loves sourdough.
I do. I'm a sourdough girly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta come in.
You know where you're going to get your loaves now.
That's true. That is true. 'Cause I won't be making it is the thing, you know.
So, if you want to go into the shop, you listed all these amazing ways that people can try out all your yummy treats. But I hear you can also pre-order some of the pastries too. What is the process like for that?
So we do require 72 hours notice because all these croissants take 3 days to make.
Really?
But you can go to orders.templepastries.com and we have our pretty comprehensive menu you can choose from, and it's pretty straightforward on there.
Very cool.
And I feel like we can tell that you really have a passion for what you do. And baking, at least to me, is not one of the easiest things to get into. So share with us your passion for it. Where does that come from?
Oh gosh, I just love a challenge. I always love to challenge myself, and baking is so difficult. It's just something that really spoke to me, like the precision. And then once you learn the basics of the craft, your creativity can just run wild. And that's what I really like about it. It's a science and an art.
That's great.
Yeah.
What is the thing that takes the longest in the croissant 3-day process? 3-day process.
Oh, well, okay, so we do everything with sourdough, and so the sourdough takes 12 hours to mature, and then we make a second dough that also takes 12 hours to mature. Then the dough sits overnight, and all that resting time creates so much flavor.
Yeah.
And then the next day we fold the butter in, and then shape it all, and then the next day we proof and bake. So it's just like a never-ending process.
A lot of love in these croissants.
Yes, exactly.
This is why I love sourdough. It's extra just like me. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been a blast.
Thank
A tasty
you.
blast. We posted more info on Temple Pastries on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio13Live.
And hey, still to come on Studio 13 Live, I'm learning how to make a sweet and sour Thai noodle soup with PCC Community Markets, how you can sign up for their in-person and online cooking classes.
It's so good too, Carly. Okay, but next, a rough morning routine for a dog has made his owner go viral. She says that certain things have to happen for him to get out of bed. It is time for Cuckoo Reviews, where we dive into some of the most absurd reviews on the internet. And in fact, I'm sorry, I still have croissant in my teeth. What about, how you doing over there?
Yeah, I'm like working on it right now.
Okay, but it was so good. This reviewer, not a big fan of their shoes that they bought. They wrote, these were my first purchase of Dr. Scholl's shoes. I wore them to work, looking forward for my feet to feel like they were dancing on clouds overlooking fields of flowers. But guess what? They rank in the top 3 most uncomfortable shoes I ever purchased, tied for second place with the purple jelly sandals bought in the 80s. I have a desk job and had a blister the size of a quarter. Ooh. I hobbled to my car, kicked off the tortured devices. Oh, that is a story.
That seems like the exact opposite of what you think you're going to get from a Dr. Scholl's shoe.
Yeah, but I've dealt with that. It's no fun. You do get pretty cranky.
Yeah, definitely. All right, this next reviewer actually left a really positive message about her Amazon legging purchase. She wrote, "Can I just say that I will be reordering them in every color. Here is me rolling and sliding down a mountain because I was too scared to get up. My leggings did not rip, not even a little bit, and I got stuck on rocks and trees." More than 13,000 people found that review helpful. I mean,
and the proof.
Talk about durable.
She really posted those photos. I've slid down a little mountain in Alaska, and my leggings also survived, so I felt like it was money well spent.
That was a really great start to a sentence, by the way.
Oh,
I slid down a mountain in Alaska.
Well, it was not impressive is what I'm getting at. I bit off more than I could chew per use, you know. And if you come across any cuckoo reviews yourself, be sure to DM them to us, Studio 13 Live on social media. We love to check them out and share them with all of you, for sure.
We do.
All right, just in, Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder just announced 2 Seattle solo shows. Big news here. They will happen October 23rd and the 24th. At Mireya Hall, the shows will benefit an organization that discovers treatments for genetic skin disorder. Ticketmaster registration, that starts today. Those tickets go on sale tomorrow. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and for a good cause, too. Very cool. You ever have one of those days where waking up is just a little bit harder than usual? Multiple times a week. Well, this dog has a lot of new fans after his owner posted this video of their morning routine. So it shows her, you know, making the bed, as you can see, and him, well, staying in bed. His owner says that every day it's the same. She has to work around her dog because that dog is not budging until he's ready to get out of bed.
Wow.
I mean, I think this shows how much we love our pets, right? We want to keep them comfortable.
I want someone to love me this much. They'll make the bed around me.
That's a good life. That's a good life. My dog definitely has his preferences, and I try to honor them too.
Yeah,
you know?
but I feel like your buddy's like smaller, so
That's
you
true.
could like pop him on a pillow like a little prince.
Yeah.
That was a bigger dog.
That was, yeah.
One woman has gone viral for a bedroom confession, okay? It's not spicy, so relax. She says that she and her husband switch sides of the bed that they sleep on. So after her post, people actually acting like this is the craziest thing they've ever heard. Many commenters saying they would never switch sides. And look, I get it that people naturally, they get used to the space that they're in, but I don't know, would you be willing to just switch sides?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Absolutely
I wasn't sure where you were going.
No, because I have so many of my little things. I have my book that I read before I go to sleep. I have my little reading light. I have my chapstick. I have my sleep mask. I have my earplugs. I have my glasses. I have my blue light glasses. I'm not moving that to the other side of the bed every single night. What about you?
That's wild. Okay. So my husband pointed this out to me. I didn't know this, but we apparently did switch sides once, and I didn't even notice because more than the side of the bed, I don't like to sleep near the door. So we moved at one point and the door was on the other side. So I just naturally gravitated to the side of the room that I like. And he didn't say anything for like a long time. And finally he was like, yeah, my neck's been hurting because I'm sleeping on a different side of the bed. I didn't even notice.
But I mean, that's understandable to me because you move to a new location, so everything is situated differently.
Right.
And like maybe one person doesn't want to sleep by the window, one person doesn't want to sleep by the door. But every night, that's utter chaos.
That is chaos.
I
for
can't
sure.
imagine.
Utter chaos. I love that. All right, so get this. This is pretty wild, too. 70% of people say that they could not enjoy their own wedding day because they're stressed out about their appearance. That makes me so sad. You know, and even higher than that, 80% think that it is important to have the perfect wedding day photos, sure. The average couple even willing to spend about $1,600 on a photographer. I gotta tell you though, like wedding costs nowadays, that's almost a steal. Like weddings are expensive.
That's what I thought when I looked at that number too. I said, oh, well, that seems like what you would expect to pay for something like that. I would think it maybe even be like more than that. The thing with a wedding is that is the one day where everybody truly is looking at you. Yeah. I think a lot of us go through life every day thinking, oh, I'm insecure about this, or there's this one, my hair's like a little bit, my bangs, for example, today, going a little bit weird to the side. So it's in my head about this. But at a wedding, truly everyone is like looking at you all the time. So I can see why brides feel this way, but it's unfortunate because you want to be able to just like kick back, relax, enjoy, celebrate, talk to all the amazing people that are there. So
that really
did you feel that way
bummer.
at your wedding?
I felt like a true hottie at my wedding. So I'm very happy about that. But
good.
Please don't send me any hate mail. Let me live. Okay. But yeah, I felt great at my wedding. I love that. But I'll tell you, the one thing that I didn't like is that my dress made it so I couldn't eat as much of the delicious dinner that we picked out for everyone as I wanted to. So at the end of the day, I was really grateful that we went all out picking the food, so I tried a lot of different tasty food. Yeah. But I couldn't finish my plate. And I was sad.
Man, I hear that happens more than you think too. Even just like how busy brides are at weddings, and brides and grooms both.
Sure.
You know, sometimes you just don't have time to eat.
I know.
All right, let me ask you this. Where would you go if you could travel through time? Think about that. So here are the top answers for historical scenes that people would want to time travel to. Ancient Egypt, the American Revolution, ancient Greece, Renaissance Italy, and the D-Day landings.
Interesting.
Seems like a lot of friction in history.
I would not say the past. In the future. Just as a woman, things weren't so great. and you know, I'm mouthy. I would get in trouble.
You get in trouble. See, I feel like for a similar reason, it'd be interesting to go back and see what really happened during the whole Adam and Eve story.
Ooh,
right? I feel like women, you know, bear a lot of the blame for that whole situation. And like, were we really?
Let's see.
I don't know.
Let's see.
You know?
Play the tape.
Roll the tapes. Let's see these receipts. We'll go back and check it out.
That is an interesting concept. Oh, a good thinker. A good conversation started.
Yeah.
All right. So this is creepy, though. This is full creepy. A robot conference in China that left some visitors feeling all sorts of ways. So look at this. Really look at this.
Oof.
Yeah. Those are humanoid robots showing off some new technology here, allowing them to seem more human. They have expressions, gestures. One of the companies that makes these, they say that the tech upgrades now allow for robots to move more naturally, display more expressions, and even finger movement. I have to say, to me, this looks like a real human wearing a fake human mask pretending to be a robot. That's what it looks like to me.
You know, what I think when I look at this is like every time I worry that robots are going to take over the world, I see where we're at with technology developing, and like that doesn't look like a real person to me at all. That's very obvious it's a robot.
Creepy.
Just, you know, I guess the masks have gotten better. It's not just this full-on metal robot. I'd rather just see my robots full metal, though, I think.
Full metal robot.
Yeah.
New band.
New band.
I love it.
All we got to do is get the singing abilities.
You know, just put us on mute and the vibe will be great. It'll be fine. Coming up, we have a look at the inspiring story of how listeners stepped in to raise millions of dollars to help KNKX Radio. And we're even going to get a special jazz performance here in studio.
Yes, but first we're going to give you a look at the cooking classes with PCC Community Markets and show you how to make a delicious Thai noodle soup at home.
It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day. Yeah, I'm
PCC Community Markets offers online and in-person cooking classes where you can learn how to make some dishes like ravioli from scratch, even vegan street tacos and New York-style pizza. It all goes on that list. Amazing.
Yes, and they've also got an incredible teacher. So I got to learn how to make some delicious Thai noodle soup with their cooking instructor, Prani Halverson. Take a look.
The third dish called Tom Yum Select. Tom Yum, like Tom Yum soup. So we're going to use that as our flavor profile. Sweet, salty, spicy, you know, to the next level.
Okay.
And then followed by the layer flavor at the end. So Select means rice vermicelli.
Rice vermicelli, great.
So I already prepped rice vermicelli. And that all it is about simple noodle soup. Very simple.
So a yummy noodle soup, I love it.
For the soup, and here's the
Got
broth.
the soup stock.
And then you
Drop it in the broth.
Okay.
So we're putting in the lime leaves and the Thai ginger.
Thai ginger.
Okay.
So this is rice vermicelli that's soaked in the water until it's pliable. And we cook this one. We cook the noodle right in here like this.
Oh.
And how long? Sometimes writing the recipe not about how long it is. Until cooked, the time I give you approximate. So right now I say 30 seconds.
Wow, that's so fast.
See, it already soft, and then the hot broth is going to be on top. So you don't want it to overcook. So just like that.
Cool. Now we're going to separate this into two bowls. A little bit more in there. And then I might lift this up here. Put a little bit in here.
And now we're going to put the broth in. Can make it like a soup, so we're going to do two. Is that okay? One like a soup.
Great.
And one like a salad, like a broth. Just enough to mix everything together. So we're going to garnish with cilantro.
Should I put it on
both
this one
sides.
too? Okay.
The same way. It's just only the broth. It's different amount.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to put this tofu.
And this is uncooked tofu, right?
Uncooked tofu. You can pan fry them as well. Right in the center if you want. Maybe one or two each.
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah, I like tofu.
So this one is PCC Thai true Thai chili oil that already made, and so you can garnish it. And I love chili oil because it makes the dish colorful.
It's so colorful.
It's so colorful. It's depends what you love. So here we go, and your time.
Okay. Oh, I love that bright orange there.
Exactly.
Putting a little crushed peanuts on there.
Let's chop up the tofu. I like it to keep your guests busy as well. Not,
Yeah.
You know.
Put them to work a little bit, you know?
Exactly. I agree.
My favorite part, tasting it.
Mine too. I taste the sour. You know,
I taste
just
a little spicy.
And I taste the herbs,
I taste a little salt.
lemongrass.
Oh my
All
gosh.
in there.
All these yummy herbs. So good.
Not only sweet, sour, salty, spicy, and then it aroma, aromatic herbs. Amazing.
Amazing. I feel like this is going to get real messy. Ciao. That soup truly was the perfect balance of salty, sweet, sour, all the good stuff. You just can't go wrong with vermicelli noodles. So if you are interested in taking one of their classes, we've got a link with more info up on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live. I want to go eat that again right now.
Girl, how dare you? How dare you make me hungry?
I
That
know.
looked so good.
It was so good. Oh, yum. Yeah, their classes are super fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this heartwarming story out of Ohio. So 5-year-old Waylon Holmes found a very special way to make sure that his dad knew that he was missed while serving overseas. So he sent his favorite stuffed green dino to him 6,000 miles away in Iraq to protect his dad and keep him safe. The family shared pictures and videos on social media of the dino going on all kinds of adventures along with his dad. Waylon, his mom and dad, and of course the dino, they're all back together again and they're reunited after months apart. That is so sweet.
Not me wanting to cry at 10:46 a.m. on a Monday. That is so sweet. And I'll tell you, my son has a giraffe that never leaves his side, so I can only imagine what it meant for this little guy to ship his little stuffy all that way.
So sweet. I'm so glad they're all together again,
I know.
too.
That's the best
There's
part.
a happy ending.
Yes. All right, so apparently, you know, some people think tattoos could improve your appearance. So according to a new Pew Research Center study, more than 30% of American adults say that tattoos that they got, at least one of them, was with the goal of improving their appearance. And surprisingly, women are more likely than men to have a tattoo altogether.
Huh.
Yeah, interesting. So nearly half say that they got the ink to make a statement about what they believe. 69% got a tattoo in honor of something or someone, whether that is a person or a pet. And then all of the terrible tattoos out there, you know, some people are okay with them because only 24% say that they regretted getting the ink. Interesting stuff.
That's good that
Yeah.
it's only like less than a quarter of
Yeah.
people regret it. Because I know, you know, obviously technology's evolved so much and people can cover up their tattoos, but it's
Sure.
really expensive. And I hear it's really, really painful too.
Yeah.
So that's good that people are sticking with them. I'm really surprised that more women than men get tattoos.
Yeah, I guess I am too, but I'll tell you, like the tattoos I have, it's not like a big, meaningful anything. Like one is my favorite poem, so I guess like that is meaningful. But my very first tattoo is something that I did just kind of spur of the moment, which for me in general is important because I'm such a planner and everything I do is a lot of thinking and it takes forever. And I had a small life change that I was like, I'm getting a tattoo. So,
Yeah.
so to me, the action was more representative than the tattoo itself.
Does that make you love it more?
Yeah, it makes me feel like I can surprise myself.
Okay. You're like, I'm spontaneous here. I love it.
I have proof.
Yes, I've got proof. Check it out. All right, coming up, we're going to be hearing the inspiring story of how listeners stepped in to help save KNKX Radio. We're also going to be getting a very special jazz performance.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. And don't forget, if you missed anything from today's show, you can find it so easily on our website. All you got to do is head to fox13seattle.com/studio13live and find this cutie little website. It's all there for you. Stay with us.
Like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day. Yeah, I'm gonna make your day.
It is the a story of a community coming together to save something that they love. KNKX radio near extinction in 2016 when the community rallied and raised millions of dollars to save it.
Yeah, so joining us to chat all about this, Abe Beeson, who is a jazz host on KNKX and the Dylan Hayes Trio. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you're here. Tell us a little bit more about the history of the radio station.
Well, the station 88.5 began in the mid-'60s, and I began there in 1990, but the real action started in 2016 when the university that owned the license, Pacific Lutheran University, decided to sell. There was thought at the time it was going to be bought by the University of Washington, and our community said, wait a minute, we don't want to do that. We want this to be our station. We want there to be jazz, blues, and NPR and Northwest News. We want the All Things Considered. We want Morning Edition. We want all that good stuff. And we want it from the characters that we've grown to love. And so the community raised $7 million to save the station. After that, we had to move off campus, so we had to raise more millions of dollars for a new station in Tacoma. And we just completed our latest capital campaign. We raised $5.9 million for a new location between Pike Place Market and the waterfront.
That's wonderful. That is so special. And I have to know, what has it meant to you to watch these people, to watch your community come together and get all of this done?
It's been really remarkable. I mean, we're a public radio station. We ask people for money all the time.
Yeah.
But this is a different animal altogether. So it's been great to see not only the support for all the things we do, the jazz and the blues and the news, but also from such a diverse population all across Western Washington. Of course, we have a really strong radio signal that covers most of Western Washington State. And to hear from people all over, from all types of people, has been just really, really gratifying.
And I hear we're going to be celebrating the new building this weekend.
Yes, yeah, all hands on deck for Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We'll be welcoming people to come check out the new studio, Radio with a View. We've got an incredible view of Elliott Bay right there on Western Avenue. An incredible live performance studio that we'll have these fine gentlemen in later this afternoon for a performance. Yeah, we're just really excited to show off this shiny new gem in public radio.
Nice. Okay, so number one, please tell me that you have jazz, blues, and news on a t-shirt, because that is a perfect t-shirt.
Right, we do. Oh, yes,
okay,
several t-shirts and caps.
You can buy that and the money goes to good people, right? But also, we want to hear about the special guests that you have coming.
Right, yeah. Saturday's going to be really something. We'll have Michelle Martin from NPR's Morning Edition come by. The mayor of Seattle will be there. Our friends at Bird Note, a radio show that started on our radio station, will be there with, I think, 5 or 6 birds of prey. So don't bring your pet squirrel to the party on Saturday. We will also have members of KNKX School of Jazz and Seattle Jazz Ed, busking, lots of other musicians. It's going to be a party all day Saturday.
And if somebody, wants to support the radio station, but they can't make it to the open house, what can they do?
Right. We ask people to connect to our website at knkx.org, where they can actually enjoy a lot of what we do on the radio on demand.
Beautiful. All right, we're going to get a special performance right now, so let's take it away. my favorite part is like the little stanky face you all get when you're really vibing. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Dylan, what has this station meant to you?
Oh, it's meant a whole lot to me. I'm very grateful for all the opportunities I've had, thanks to KNKX, the whole team, Abe, Brenda. The first time I was on KNKX was over at Centrum, over at Jazz Port Townsend, the workshop with Stanley Rubenov, and we were in Jeff Hamilton's trio ensemble. Then I got invited back to play with my quintet, and then my octet called the DX-tet, led by Xavier and myself, hence the name DX, Dylan, Xavier, octet, right? And then now I'm here, so thank you. Is all I can say.
That is absolutely fantastic. And I have to say, it's just lovely watching how confident you all are playing this beautiful music. Thank you so much. We've posted more information on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
Yeah, y'all are so great.
Yeah.
This has been awesome. Have you ever done a TV appearance before?
No.
Oh, first one.
I love to see it. And, you know, the people love jazz. So we love to see it. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Anywhere people can find you next?
Every fourth Thursday, except this month, over at the Sea Monster Lounge, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., DX-tet, and every Tuesday over at Ristorante Piccolino, 6:30 p.m.
I love it. Go vibe with them.
Thank you so much, guys. This has been awesome.
I really hope you have an amazing time.
Don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sun shining through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.